Welcome back to the last Starship, everyone. Today, we're going to give our jumper ship a chance to start earning us something. Because I've got the basics done. At the end of the last video, we got these tanks set up here. There's a bunch of hyperspace scoops, and there's certainly enough scoops now to begin at least the process of working on this. I've got this many reactors and a couple of batteries. I'm hoping this is enough to get the fusion reactor started. So we're going to go ahead and test that theory today. Before we get started on that, though, let's make sure our crew are going to be A-okay, huh? Let's take a sewage pipe. We're going to place that here. And then we can probably do a small tank, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and process it direct. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that right now. So we'll place this here. That's going to handle the waste stuff. And then from there, the wastewater, I suppose, should probably have a tank. So we can go ahead and do that. I don't know if it's here. Where is it? Wastewater's coming out here. So we can probably give the wastewater a tank. That's fine. And then we'll go ahead and put in the water purifier right after that. It can be right there. And then from there, we can probably have, this is going to make actual water. So we're going to want to store that. Yes, I'm going to put a walkway. I like clean walkways in my places, okay? So we're going to do that. And then also the refineries need to go in. So these refineries, I'm going to start them up here. It really doesn't need to be this far away, honestly. There's so much space on this ship. But I want to leave the places near the docking ports open a little bit. Maybe I'm actually going to take away this docking port because I don't think it's necessary. And we're going to leave this area open for lots of storage because the jumper's going to be moving, which means the jumper could totally be a trade ship if it's going to be moving, all right? I'm pretty much going to dedicate the Procyon cruiser as a good all-arounder, but it's going to primarily focus on defense while still being able to handle itself as far as all of its resources. I don't really feel a need. With 21 million credits now, I don't really feel a need to, you know, tear it down for the sake of being efficient. There's no reason at this point. The money is almost meaningless at this point. So I'm going to take this and let's start it. We could start it here, but again, I want to leave this kind of area open for a lot of cargo. So how about I start here? We'll just it's kind of an arbitrary point, but I'm gonna line it up with this. So we're gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks worth, and then so 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks worth. So we would start the next line like right about here later, okay? So we'll just leave that area open again for lots of cargo. So we're gonna put all of these in a row right here. Yes, with a clean walkway, and this is gonna be where we start to get transitioning into having a lot of the stable isotopes. Now, I'm going to use the medium tanks for this, and I don't really know if I probably should have a large tank for this. Do we have huge tanks? I'm going to have to buy more huge tanks because I don't have huge tanks, but it's okay. Oh, we need a CO2 scrubber in here too. So let's get that as well. I totally forgot about the CO2. Okay, so all these things is fine. Let's go ahead and get the stuff connected. We're going to be like this, and everything's good there. Now, what we want is to connect this. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But in order to get this running, we need a loader for the deuterium. And so right next to this, I'm going to place a loader for deuterium. Right in the back, I think, here is probably fine. You know what? Let's place 2. Let's have a loader for each one of them for now. This will get cleaned up a little bit more later, but we'll do it like this for now. And then the pipes, again, will connect like that. And we'll have the pipes that connect to deuterium like that. Okay, so we're going to want to boot up one of the fusion reactors first. We boot this one up, and then once this is fully booted up, then we can boot the other one up. We don't have enough power to boot them both at the same time. Then we need to align this stuff with, we need to get cables on these things. So we're probably going to go up from here, right? So up to all the way up, I guess. Probably to here for now is fine. We can connect it on this side and connect it on this side, and it's fine. Okay. All of these are going to be configured for hyperspace isotopes. They are going to be converting what we're jumping into stable isotopes. That's their job. All of these refineries, that's what they're going to do. And then I just need to get more huge tanks, which the cruiser could do. I'm not sure if it has any. Does the cruiser have any huge tanks right now? I really want more. There's just more medium tanks. So, okay, so we need to get more of those. So cruiser, we're going to just have you go to colonies. How about you go to this colony over here? We're just going to get some huge tanks. Now, research-wise, I could maybe get this just to like say I can make them. I mean, that's fine. We could do that. But we're going to jump with the Procyon cruiser. It also needs more stable isotopes in collection as well, because we're running danger low on that. And of course, we need that for our own deuterium supply as well. Once the jumper is doing its thing, we won't have to worry about that anymore, because it's also going to have a huge amount of deuterium available on that ship. So let's go ahead and go to their trade screen. We have one huge tank. We'll take it. Is there anything else we can take in here? And that includes things that we need for that ship to function, right? So that would be industry. Yep, industry is what we want. And what we're looking for is any more hyperspace scoops, which it doesn't have. It does have some drone bays. I don't really think it needs it, but it's not that expensive. So I'll take a drone bay. And then I don't think we're going to be fabricating anything, but I don't really know. What I do know is that we'll need more refineries and more chemical labs. Those are things we'll definitely need. And so we'll buy those things. I don't think we need the crates. Helium ore would be cool just to get the more crystals, but we're fine. So let's get that trade going, and then I want to shift back over to bad. So bad right now is focused on helium ore. And the reason for that is because it really doesn't have anything else to do. We've actually shut down the production line for the energy transmitters, because we really don't need any more of those either. I've got a lot of money. I can always boot that up and start it up again if necessary. Let's go ahead and install... Ooh, I thought we had made that one last solar panel by now, but they haven't really gotten on that yet. Yeah, they have one more solar panel to make. Let's go ahead and dismantle that one. It's just a random assembly table, right? And then we have so much stuff in storage here, so I've kind of shut down the lines for the most part. But the Thallium crystals will continue. And the reason for Thallium crystals continuing is because that is the next phase of the Stargate. So once we get the stable isotopes going and delivered, because these two are done now. So once we get these delivered, we then start phase 4. And that's where the Stargate capacitors start kicking in. And we're going to use those stable isotopes to get those. But the other thing we need is the Thallium crystals. They need 250 of them. Now, the Procyon cruiser has all of what we need in order to turn that in right now. So if I wanted to go to the Stargate, I could go to a shipyard and turn that in at the moment. And are we done? You got everything? I think so, right? The trade's completed. I think so. If I go back to, like, say, Stargate over here. Oh, and I read some comments on earlier videos. People were telling me how visiting the system that we're going to right now, AJE, is apparently an entity that would normally give me a ship to start working on the Stargate. But I guess the way they've done it, the way the devs have done it, is if you start it before that, then he just doesn't contact you about it. So it's like a second way of doing it. So the AJE Foundry, this is apparently something, and I don't know if it's this ship, but apparently these guys give you a ship to start working on this. And that's not necessary, I guess, because I'm already started myself. So I would love to turn in these crystals because I have them on board. I'd love to turn in the Stargate receivers because I have like almost half the supply I need on board. But I can't start phase 4 until phase 3 is totally complete. So that means the stable isotopes are what's really going to matter here. Let's get another huge tank. And let's get more scoops, refineries, and chemical labs. And even another storage crate would be good. I could get some Thallium ore just to make more crystals on board, which is kind of weird, but I could do that because I need the crystals as well. I'm full here, but I need the crystals to create my deuterium and everything, to create my my FTL charges. Sorry, I need the crystals to create my own FTL charges. And that brings me to another important point, and that is that the jumper will require crystals to be on board to generate its own charges while it's moving around, while it's jumping around. So that's also a big thing for this too. We're gonna have to take a look at that. CO2 scrubber on this, we're gonna get that going right here. Oxygen supply, let's go. I don't even know where my air duct is on this ship. I put it way over here, didn't I? I might want to move it. It doesn't need to be there. I could put it over here. I kind of want to move it. I'm gonna move it. Yeah, I'm gonna move it. I know there's a whole bunch of oxygen in here though, so probably what I should do is this. Let's dismantle the loader and the air duct. We'll keep that tank. We'll put a new tank, let's say right here. And then what we'll do is we'll get the pipes running from here. It's obviously temporary piping. We'll just kind of do this kind of thing just to keep it direct in. And that will allow me to pull the supply and balance this out. And then I can get rid of this, as long as I've got the oxygen in there. So it'll balance itself out just a little bit, and then I can tear this down, and it won't bother me much. Then we're going to say that the air duct is... I kind of want to put it back here out of the way, but it makes more sense to be right next to this, right? So I guess we'll place it here. This is, yeah, there's still a walkway right through here. And then the oxygen loader can just be right here. So all of this just kind of crosses through there and into the small tank. And then we just need the cables to hook it up to power. There we go. So this reactor's online. Because that reactor's online, we can now go ahead and fully connect this one, which will allow this one to power up and get this one online. So this one's activating right now. And then we'll be, deuterium powered for a little bit, which is good. Because we're going to need extra power anyway. Okay, so now with that being done, the CO2 scrubber can get in here. And I really don't need this piping anymore. So we're going to dismantle this. And we're going to go ahead and get rid of... Yes, get rid of this. So now all of that is the way it is. There we go. And that'll get rid of this. And because I got rid of this, I no longer need... And I know it makes no sense and it doesn't matter, but we're going to go like this. I don't need this pipe doing that anymore. I can go straight across. So now it's just a straight pipe through there. We're never going to see it, but I'll know. I'll know. Okay. What else do I got to do here before we get started? The water comes out of here into here. Wastewater goes into there. So we should start getting water placed into the tank now. That'll be nice. And we could get our oxygen maker, which uses the water to make oxygen. We could do that, but I'm probably not going to connect it for a little while anyway. So, because I'm just going to take the pipes and hook this up like that, but I'm not going to bother connecting the water hookup here on this because I just don't need it. But if I need it, then I want to be able to have it right away. That's kind of the way that goes. All right, CO2 scrubber. We're going to place this right next to this here. Yep. And then the air reprocessor would go into there. But let's put a small tank right here is fine. And then we'll put a small... We did the small tank. Then the air reprocessor could be here. Right. And it ends up being like this. Right on the oxygen line. All right, so the pipes for this go like that. And then finally the cables. Hook it up to power. Add some redundancy. Call it good. Life support system's complete. It's set up, ready to go. And for the most part, we're just going to be making our own oxygen supply using the CO2. And if we need more, then I'll hook up this machine and we can start pulling it from the water supply. But I don't really want to do that if I don't have to. So there we go. Okay, we need chemical labs in here. We got a few of them. I got 10 of them to be specific. So we're going to do this. Now, I want tanks in the center here. I want lots and lots of these stable isotopes to be available. And that's the primary thing we're making with these is stable isotopes. But eventually, once the stable isotopes are delivered for all the things we need them to be delivered for through stage 4, I'm not sure we're going to need them again in stage 5 or 6. 5 looks like it's just the energy things. So if I click 5 right here, it looks like it's just the energy transmitters. Possibly it's more than that, but that's what this looks like anyway. So once we have the Stargate capacitors done, and stable isotopes really don't have that much of a function anymore, at least for the Stargate project, we can then switch over and just making lots of deuterium and everything too. So in the meantime, though, that's where all these chemical labs are for. My suspicion is that I'm going to need more chemical labs in the future, so that's why I have them. So why don't we take and leave a little bit of a gap here. Let's say, how much is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide. 6 wide. So walkway, and then 6 wide, and then walkway, chemical labs. That's how I'm going to do it. So we have chemical labs. We'll go in a row, something like that. For now, I'll put these 6 in here. And right now, it's just going to primarily be sitting here, not hooked up. But I just want them installed so they're not sitting in storage over here. It's fine. And then the final thing I'm going to want to do here is I wanted to get a little bit of stuff for life support. because there are some people on board. And I kind of like the idea of my ships having crew. I realize it's not the most efficient means or anything, but I kind of like the idea of my ships having crew. So I'm going to leave an extra walk space here. And then we're probably going to want to find a way to hook up the water supply to the farm. So I'm going to go around this and then into there. Yeah. Or it could clean it up even further. If I'm going to make a row of these things, then I can clean it up further by going like this. I guess might as well just go straight down, right? So something like that will help there. With storage for seeds to be like right behind it is fine. And then compost. If there is any compost, we can place compost like as storage behind this here like this. So why don't we just do it like this? It'll make it look a little bit cleaner. That's in the walkway though. I don't like it. I don't like it in the walkway. We'll go like that. That's pretty clean. Okay, and then the final thing is the power. So we'll just go like that. Run the power down. Okay, so we're going to have blinky blinks here, and that's okay. I don't need them hooked up to power right now. I don't need them to do things. I just wanted to have at least one built so I could see these things. We don't need Stargate resins here. I do want at least one of these things, though, making deuterium. So that's what I'm looking for there. Where is it? Procyon Cruiser. There it is. It's a Procyon Cruiser. I think you're done here. In this section, at least, I think you're done here. I don't have anything else that I want to do in this area. I already bought the scoops. I did everything I wanted to do here, yeah. If there's somebody who wants to travel back to NG12, then I'll take them, but nobody ever wants to go to NG12. Okie dokie. So we're going to rotate like this, and we'll get ourselves over to the jumper, and then we'll see just how effective this jumper really is, yeah. So the jumper, there's the tank. We'll just head over to the jumper so it's a little faster on the trade. The jumper, being right here, I've given it 4 engines so it can maneuver a little bit. And I'm actually thinking about changing the hull design because of that too. It's as funny as it sounds, it doesn't need this thing sticking out. So I'm kind of thinking, instead of letting it stick out like this, we could erase the hull right here. And if I just erase this hull like through here, for example, something like this, and then like this, right? If I do that, is this symmetry? No. So I need to also do that over here. So we can erase, right? And then it just goes, I think that's correct, yeah? We just delete through here. I think that's how I did it. Yes, I think so. If I confirm that, I was wrong by 1. Okay, so confirm that. There. So if I do something like this, right? And then we draw the hull once more. This time we go like this. I just think it will look a little bit cleaner in that it's coming down, you know, and then maybe we'll have to have floors through here just to kind of do it like that, right? But the ship kind of comes directly to the engines now. I could also maybe put little jagged edges here, but I'm not going to bother with it. All right, Procyon Cruiser has arrived. That's the engine sounds we hear. I just wanted it closer for the sake of the trade. So logistics-wise, I mean, honestly, for the sake of the trade, it actually makes even more sense to just dock since I'm right here. Because it is objectively faster to just dock. So we'll go here. We'll dock to this. It's okay. And with the auto docker off, we'll just let that be on now. So for jumper, what we want here is... Why am I stuck in this mode? Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. The store was just open in this mode. It's fine. Correct. I don't want a store. I want this. Okay. I'm going to figure it out. So jumper gets the chemical labs. We go like that. It gets the refineries as well. There you go. It's going to get the extra drone bay, and it's going to get the 2 huge tanks. And I probably should put, the 2 storage crates on there. And you know what? We can probably give it a little bit more water. That's okay too. It's got all the deuterium. That's fine. Looks like Procyon Cruiser doesn't have any deuterium. That's not the case. It can't be the case. Well, it doesn't have any deuterium that's bottled, but it's got 12K on board. So yeah, that's fine. All right. So these guys will go ahead and transfer all that stuff as soon as Are they going to transfer all that stuff? Are they going to? Or did they already do it? I think they already did it. See what I'm saying? It's really fast when you dock. It's much faster. All right, so we want the huge tanks. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it isn't faster. It's right here. Okay. It's on the ship already. They just have to, you know, get it going. And this is actually the docking port I wanted to remove. But once it's in storage, I can access it, yeah? So I should be able to see storage crate. Yeah, so we're going to have storage crates, let's say, from here and here. And we can just start storing things in here. That's going to mean something for, like, trade. So I'm going to start with food just to put it in there, just to have another place for this stuff so it's off the floor. And then also deuterium, just so it's off the floor for now. I can't put deuterium in there. Okay, so we'll do deuterium crystals instead, because we're going to eventually do that. Okay, so temporarily what I'm going to do is I'm going to have these medium tanks go ahead and take over with getting stable isotopes. So I'm going to start by just placing them here. They are going to be replaced later by proper large tanks right through here, so I'm not going to put them in the way of that. But what it's going to let me do is just make sure that these isotopes end up being usable from here. So we're going to place it here, and then I'm also going to get one of the loaders, which I don't have a loader. So let's see if I can buy. I need actually a bunch of these loaders. Industry, logistics. No, they're not here. They don't have loaders at this station. Yeah. So we're going to have to get some loaders as well, unless the cruiser has it. Does the cruiser have a loader? It does not. It's got 20 energy transmitters, though. So we're going to have to just have the cruiser go get stuff. So I'm going to put the cruiser on a heading towards this colony. And nobody wants to go there, so it's not a big deal. And we're going to send the cruiser that way. We're going to have him pick up a loader and some other things that it might need. And then what we'll want to do is start jumping this, right? So now that we have these tanks, we're going to want to take the stable isotope lines, which are the bottom lines. So we're going to take these. Nope, these are power cables. Hang on. Power lines are not what I want. There we go. Pipes. That's better. We're going to take these stable isotope lines and just pull them out for a second. And then we'll kind of merge them all together like this. That's fine. All right. I'm not coordinated with my mouse today. I wouldn't be a very good Call of Duty player, you know. Wouldn't be very good with, you know, all those games that the kids with really fast reflexes play. I wouldn't be very good at those. We definitely want these tanks all hooked up for stable isotopes as well. Hyperspace isotopes. So, well, we're already hooked up though, aren't we? Yeah. As long as it's hooked up to this back line, we're fine. Everything's hooked together. So we'll do that and like that. Okay, so this is going to allow us to have all these isotopes stored in these tanks and more tanks as we buy more. And then as it goes, they'll go through the refinery, get kicked out as stable isotopes, and get popped into these tanks. And then we're going to get a bunch of loaders so that we can unload them and stick them into storage so that we can then sell them to the Stargate project. That's the idea, okay? So let's go ahead and jump. And I probably could have jumped with the jumper too. That actually would have worked really well because the jumper is capable of it right now and it's all hooked up because I just did it. But I wanted it to do it on its own. I wanted to test it out on its own. So we'll trade this. There's 2 tanks. So it's got 2 huge tanks. We'll go ahead and buy that really quick. And I think that's probably all I really needed to buy. I suppose maybe some water would be good, but we have 14,000 of it now. And good charges, good deuterium. I have like infinite money though, so why not? You can buy a couple of seeds too. Cool. We've got that. Let's go ahead and buy that, and then we'll set a course back for NG12. And again, if there's anybody that wants to come with me, all right, you want to be delivered at NG12, so we'll go ahead and do that since you're going the direction I'm already headed. There we go. Everything gets unloaded. Okay, and jump. Alrighty then. So we'll go ahead and turn in that contract because we can, just to get our rankings up. And then the jumper, right, is over here. Let's go ahead and just kind of get ourselves over that way. Good enough. Kill this, and then we'll use our logistics to bring the tank into jumper. And oh, I went over there to get a loader, you dummy. That's what I was doing. Well, it's okay. You know what? Fine. Jumper's gonna go get its own loader. It's fine. It's gonna go get its own loader. Let's have it work. We're gonna say that we want to set a course for really any colony, I suppose, right? So all the drones should have brought that over by now. At least now we have the huge tanks, which are gonna get installed anyway through the drone bay. There it is, huge tank. It's gonna get installed now. So let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna have you go to NG4. And I probably want to make this a bit more maneuverable. Now that I'm looking at it, I think my propulsion system just isn't adequate enough. Let's buy 4 thrusters. I'm not sure where I'm gonna install them all. Right now I'm thinking here and here on these sidewalls is what I'm thinking right now. I also replaced the docking port, so I kind of want to sell that because I don't need it. It's extra. And we don't really need the small tank either, so I'm going to go ahead and say that's extra too. Let's get rid of those things we don't need in storage. And then the thrusters, let's go ahead and put those on too, because I think it's probably a good idea. Yeah, so we'll put this thruster on this side here and here. And then on this side over here, we'll have it go there and there. And this will make it much more maneuverable so that it can line up for its jumps easier. A ship that's going to be jumping a lot probably should have that lined up. Now the thing is, this is saying it's disconnected from the fuel supply. And I'm not sure why it says that, because the fuel tank is right here. So that can't be it. What it's probably disconnected from is the power supply. That's not it either. So why are you disconnected? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for you to be disconnected. Hold on. Pipes. Okay, so the pipe is coming through here, but you're not registering as being in there. So if I go like this... No, you're not registering as being connected to fuel. Oh! This... Okay, this right there. Okay, that makes... Wait, that's better. We'll do that. And then, again, the cables, though, it should have power as well. Should have power. There it goes. All right, everything's got power now. We're fine. So this ship can now jump itself. Let's have it do that. As it does it, we should get a lot of hyperspace isotopes. And let's see how that works. All these refineries lit up. We're all going to be doing things now. We got stable isotopes going into every tank. Very, very nice. Okay. Very good. Now, one of these chemical labs needs to make deuterium from that supply. One of these do. So I'm going to take the pipes, and it's not showing me which one to connect it to. So let's grab some power. And we're just going to send the power straight up here into that one for now. So hopefully this one tells me good things. Tell me it's close by. Yeah, pipes. All right, it's this one. So we need to bring it up here and then just over. And then the deuterium will pop out here. We're going to want to buy 2 loaders. We're going to want to buy more than 2 loaders, but for now we're going to buy 2 loaders. And then now this ship can do all of the jumping that it wants to do. And we should be pretty maneuverable now. It could definitely leave. There's definitely room for improvement on our rotational speed, but it's better than it was. There we go. All right. So now the idea is to keep an eye on how many FTL charges we have and to see whether or not we're able to make more charges than we're consuming. So one way to do that is to have also one of these chemical labs producing FTL charges. All right, so we need that as well. So we're going to have people have to come by and pick things up from there. And what we want, we have these 2 loaders here for deuterium, and that's good. But if we're going to be producing deuterium, we probably need some tanks to store that deuterium as well. And so that is a challenge. That's going to be a challenge. For now, I'm going to place the loader here. And we're going to have this be an unload stable isotopes. And then that unload will hopefully just pop it in storage, and we can, store it up to sell it for now. So we'll have you unload. That's going to empty all these tanks into the loader, and then they can pull this off to storage. So we're not leaving a whole lot for the other thing, but we're also going to be jumping a lot. And I'll have this thing on autopilot, basically. I'm going to go through the interstellar logistics, and I'm just going to tell it to go jump around back and forth, with the idea being that we have enough equipment to constantly have more FTL charges than we're consuming. And even if for some reason we don't keep up, the ship can just stay put until it gets an FTL charge. Because as long as it's got a supply of these stable isotopes, it should be able to do it. Or really, it's hyperspace isotopes. Yeah, wait. This takes hyperspace isotopes for this. And then the thallium crystals, which I have crystals on board. Okay, let's try this then. This one here is going to do FTL charges. This one here will be back to not deuterium. Let's stop that for a second. We're going to do FTL charges up here. So cables. Let's actually work this a little bit different on the cables. We'll bring this cable up like this. That way I can disconnect them at will. And so we'll go like this with it. And then this one here is going to do FTL charges, which the Tilium crystals are in storage. Yes, we have 70 of them in storage, plus some more on the ground here. Okay. So now you will take the supply directly from here. So we'll hook up this pipe. And we'll just say this. All right. So you have a supply of this directly from these. All right. So that seems good. That seems exactly like what we want to do. And of course, I could always do the Uber contracts with this too, right? I can just take and deliver things and be a courier if I want to as well. But let's say shipyard colony. We'll just head down this way. Here we go. And we'll jump. See what we get. Jumper's battery is low. Oh boy. That's no good. We got to turn these on. So let's turn these back on. We'll get the pipes hooked up to this because we're going to need to boot everything up again. So these reactors need to boot up so that we can boot up the other fusion reactor because this thing's working overtime right now. There it goes. And now everything can charge. So it looks like I'm going to need more batteries for the jumps. But you're making FTL charges. So we'll see. I have 3 charges left with this craft. I want more huge tanks. I want more loaders. And that is it for now. I think maybe one more hydroponic garden. And possibly more seeds. But I mean, yes, I could trade them for my other ships, but it doesn't matter. I have so much money. Again, it doesn't matter. I can buy the Tilium crystals even. It doesn't matter. It's whatever's fastest, right? Whatever is the fastest possible means of getting what I want at this point. That's kind of how it works when you have a ton of money. You just do whatever's the most convenient. You earned it, man. All right, so let's take the loader. We're going to place, I think 4 loaders total here. Yeah, so that way we really get these isotopes brought into storage faster and faster. Do these storages configure for that? It'd be hyperspace isotopes. No, it'd be stable isotopes. It's an S. No, they don't do that. So there's no way to store them here. So you got to store them on the ground, which isn't a huge deal. It just means that when I'm, delivering them for the Stargate project, that's how that works. So we can deliver a little bit right here. We'll be delivering it with this ship. We're going to spend a lot of time with this ship, kind of, scaling up our operation over and over again with this. Another hydroponic garden, please. And I can put this right next to it. It's okay. Because I think of it like they can access it from this side. They got 3 sides of access. So I can do 2 and then leave a walkway and 2, leave a walkway, etc. Let's go ahead and have your seeds be stored like this, though. And your compost can be stored like this. Okay. And then this is just a big cargo area. However, I feel like deuterium could probably store deuterium. Let's have deuterium storage be back here like this and back here like this for now. So that way it just gets out of this area and they can, yeah. Look at all the frame rates. It's because of bad. This factory is processing in the background and it's causing bad problems with my frame rates. And then this is a problem too. We have now copper in here, which I didn't tell them to do, but because it's because this is full. All of this is, all of this is full. Okay, Procyon cruiser. You're going to be my first ship to do this with. And I don't know. I feel like the jumper should do it, right? It really should be the jumper that does it. It's just that it takes too long to load. And then you have to dock because you don't have a lot of drones. I was going to say the jumper should go and pick up the Tilium crystals. Which I mean, it still should, but let's get some batteries here for the jumps. Make sure we have a lot of batteries. And is it they're down below? All right. I don't need it to be the same, but I'm going to have them the same anyway. Yeah, there we go. So just straight through the middle here, like this. Probably could have made it more compact. Wow, that's loud. Holy moly. Compensating for something? It's crazy. All right. Put that there. Put that there. Now we have all these batteries. That's a bit better. More compact. And all the batteries will charge super quickly. And now we can just jump. So let's have this jump over to bad, which isn't a very big jump. Ideally, you'd want to have really big jumps with this. The further the distance, the better, because you can get more hyperspace isotopes with each FTL charge. That's the idea. But in this case, I want to go pick up a bunch of Tilium crystals. And then I've got 70 of them still already, but it's okay. I want to pick up a bunch of them. So we have this here, and we're just going to have Jumper head over here with their engines. We also want to have you not salvage anything. So let's just turn all that stuff off. You can gather salvage. No, I don't want you to have any of this stuff on board this ship. You can repair the hull, and that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. Okay. Now, to dock this, if I wanted to dock it, and I kind of do, I would have to go straight on with this. So I'm going to have to kind of come down. There we go. Just kind of line myself up. Obviously, I can go side to side with the thrusters later, but I'm just trying to see if I can do it without using the thrusters. Oh boy. Slow it down. There we go. Yeah. And then we'll have the auto docker take it from there anyway, so it'll be all right. I think auto dock will automatically disengage my throttle as soon as it takes over. Yep, it does. There we go. So that looks kind of clean, right? That looks nifty. Do we have the solar panel yet? No, so they've just completely forgotten to do this now. They're just saying no to me on that last solar panel. It's fine. So on the logistics screen here, we want to take Jumper. No, bad. We want to take all these crystals. There's so many crystals. I just cannot get rid of them fast enough. And so I'm going to have this like load up like 200 crystals onto this other ship. And then I want all of my drones to cease collecting materials. So all of my drones, come on back. Just stop collecting materials so that we can process what we already got. And then these can clear the way and get out of the way. And then the rest of this stuff can start flowing. Because right now, everything's just at a standstill. And that's no good. We just stopped producing. And then also the mining laser should probably stop as well. Which one are you? This one. Stop doing what you're doing. There you go. All right. We can actually turn the miner off. And we've also, you know, we've mined a lot of stuff, right? This stuff is not forever. It's not forever resources, right? So like this rock is totally empty, even though it had like 4 nodes in it before, right? We have like precious minerals, precious ores. Where do these things go? They used to be there. They're not anymore. Right? And that's kind of what happens when you get rid of them like that. But if we can get research, which, you know, once this is done, I can make my own huge tanks. That's kind of cool. But if we can get this research, then we can look for new systems and potentially have really lucrative mining areas for doing that. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I don't exactly know how that works because I've never seen it before. But, you know, that's why we're playing a game somewhat blind. Yeah, I'm going to go with somewhat blind because it's not really blind. It's just kind of blind, which I think is the best kind of blind. You know, just enough to take advantage of the time you have to explore the game, but not enough to where basically anything is not a surprise anymore, right? I want to be surprised. I want to be constantly challenged and surprised by as many things as possible. And, you know, if I know just the basics, if I know enough of the controls, I know enough of the interface, I know enough of the rules, if you will, then I can really take advantage of that. We're going to need to start producing something with Tilium crystals because it's just it's becoming a mess, man. And then maybe, I mean, I would say I need more smelters to make more, but like I don't. I'm always full on crystals. It's nuts. Look at this. They can't put any more in because there's not enough crew on Jumper. There's not enough room on Jumper. Hang on. Tilium crystals. This is a bad idea, but we've got that. There you go. Feel free to put all your Tilium crystals in this area instead. There we go. Now this is full. We got still some stable isotopes here. We've got, I need more crew here, right? That's what I'm seeing. I think the jumper needs more crew just to move stuff around. Crew, jumper has 7 crew instead of 2. I did increase it, but I didn't increase it enough. Because like now you'll see this is happening. They're not refilling this. And we're actually getting low on normal fuel too. So maybe we should give some over here. So jumper, bad, I mean. Let's give you, you have 1 loader too. Give that to jumper. And then give the extra huge tank to jumper. And what should we do here? I could go small storage crates just for the thallium crystals. It'll look a little weird, I think, but we could. I mean, I was going to use them for production lines, but it's fine. At this point, it's fine. Copper, stable isotopes. No. I'm looking for... Where is it? I can give you the receivers too, I suppose, because we got to turn those in later. So I suppose I could do that. Give you the receivers. And then we can keep making receivers because the storage won't be full anymore. All right, let me let this sit for a bit so we can have all this stuff working, and I'll be right back. I will, though, before we go, on that note, I will disconnect these, I think, from fuel. Let's cut these from fuel so they don't consume it. I want to make sure that we still have enough power, but I don't want to be... There we go. Yeah, I think this will be fine. So I want to have the pipes come back, and then we're actually going to cut them from here. There we go. So it looks like we're fine having everything powered exactly from the reactors. And then yes, the engines are cut now too. I probably should reroute that. But even though we're low on fuel, we're not consuming anymore. No storage for stable isotopes. There is too. Come on, look at this. Look at this. Oh, you're getting the actuators too, the receivers. Hey, this is what I want. The small storage crates, right? So small storage crates, we're gonna go like this. 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure. And then we'll have these things here. We'll change them, right? So we'll want to have, if I can click them, which doesn't look like I can right now. Yeah, here we go. We want thallium crystals in here just to kind of get them off the floor, I guess, a little bit more. Yeah, thallium crystals here. It's thallium crystals here and here. And then this one here, we're actually going to make these the Stargate actuators just so they're off the ground as well. I can click it. There we go. Give me Stargate receivers, I mean, not the actuators. Yeah. So you guys have a dedicated place to put these things now if you can. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts.